We're starting this for about the third time now. So on the thumbnail, I have a picture of my red roses. I've never had that many red roses on my rose bush here in California. And it's just beautiful. And I've never had lemongrass solar plexus incense. So we've got that going on. This is the third time I've started this. So we're going to go ahead and try that again. See if you can see my pretty flowers. Isn't that? They're just, and there's buds everywhere. I have my pink Wonder Woman outfit on, huh? Okay, so a lot of things I wanted to tell you. We're not going to continue doing any of the Cosmic Origin book on my video because I'm on chapter 6 already, and it would take us forever to get through it one paragraph at a time, and it's really, really deep. Now, the Secret Government is not as hard to read as the Cosmic Origin is to read. Very, very deep. So I'm going to leave it there. You guys can buy the book. We got the Cosmic Origin and the Secret Government. I would suggest the Secret Government first because that was the first book written. And then the Cosmic Origin would be second. Okay, we're going to do a couple from the biblical deck, but while I'm shuffling with the High Priest randomly on the bottom, I want to thank Soul Sister because she was in Astro with me last night and she brought out a mystery. It's not a mystery, but it's something that's not revealed itself in truth in 3 and 4D. And she revealed it as truth in 5D and higher. And if she's listening, she may or may not remember, but it had to do with my last mission partner and his death. And so I really want to thank you for bringing that to my attention. And we're going to continue on with the reading. We have the 6 of Swords on the bottom. 6 of Swords on the bottom. So somebody is getting ready to journey on, to move on, okay? Now, we have the fall of Jericho, and we have Joshua chapter 6, verse 20. So if you're not familiar with the fall of Jericho, please look that up. And we've got Joshua chapter 6, verse 20. And it says, when the trumpet sounded, the army shouted, and at the sound of the trumpets, when the men gave a loud shout, the wall collapsed. To everyone, they charged straight in and they took the city. So what I'm getting from Astro is that we're supposed to be listening for the trumpets. We're supposed to be listening for the call for our new earth. So you may want to look up the fall of Jericho. You may want to look up Joshua chapter 6, verse 20. Now, I won't keep reading all of these, but underneath the journey card, we have the King of Swords. And why do we want to do this? We want to look this stuff up because Astro talks to you through Scripture. And we are listening for the last trumpets. Okay, we've got the King of Candles, which is the King of Swords. And that is just talking about King David. So if you want to look up King David, then on the top of the deck, we have the New Perspective, the Hanged Man card, and Peter's upside down crucifixion. So I'm giving you a lot of stuff to look up. Peter's upside down crucifixion and getting a new perspective on things. If you were hung upside down, you would have a different perspective on the way you were viewing things. And that's what the Secret Government book does. And I won't keep talking about the books because Astro said we're kind of done with that chapter. But that's what's going to be coming out, the lies. Right now, you're hearing that the Pope and when the Queen died, they were good people. You're hearing that on the news, right? Well, we all know that that wasn't a truth. We know that the King of Swords says that's not the truth. The King of Swords here, King David, he says that's not true. The secret government says it's not true. All this stuff is coming out behind the scenes, not on the boob tube. Okay, so we have to get a new perspective on things. And so you're going to tell your neighbor that says the Pope is a nice man that he is really an evil man? No, just let the truth come out to each person on their own. That's what you have to do. You really can't tell people stuff. You can suggest reading the books. You can suggest taking the classes, but you really can't tell people things. At least I'm not going to. If you want to go ahead and try, you go ahead and try. I did about 30 years of trying to get people to stop drinking, taking drugs, etc. And I taught a lot, and I teach a lot in astro. So it's not like I'm copping out. It's just that I'm not going to explain to my neighbor that thinks the Pope is nice that he was evil. Okay? So that new perspective on things. Now I see Soul Sister just came on and says, Grand Rising, beautiful sister. Well, I talked about you in the beginning of the live, so you may want to rewatch when we're done. Okay, so thank you for being on live. Okay, so we're just going to recap that real quick. We've got the King of Candles and the Six of Candles, which are the swords. And we've got the Hanged Man. Okay, so the truth is coming out. Get a new perspective on things and keep moving forward. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and shuffle the deck. We had the Five of Wands in reverse randomly at the bottom of the deck. We're not going to get into that. So we won't be doing the books. You guys are either going to get them or you're not. We are not going to keep mentioning Ishmael Perez because you guys are either going to be following him or you're not. We're on a new chapter. It's all about truth and trumpets. So I'm glad the trumpet and the truth card came out because you wouldn't believe really how wild that is. But I do, because that's exactly what was happening in Astro. Was the trumpets and the truth is the next assignment. So if you know, you know. Okay, bottom of the deck, we've got the Page of Swords. Truth is coming out. Now, I've been hearing a lot about the Page of Swords, meaning it's disappointing news. I don't necessarily agree with that. I just agree that it's a page, it's a childish, it's a faster action type of truth. But in this case, the energy says it is disappointing news. And the reason it's disappointing news is because someone like my neighbor isn't going to want to hear that the Pope was not a nice man. Okay, she's not going to want to hear that. That's going to be disappointing. She even mentioned that she's going to stop the newspaper from coming to her house. And she's been reading the newspaper for, I don't know, her whole life, 70 years, I don't know, however long, right? And she finally is going to maybe stop her subscription because it's all bad news. So I mentioned the song Shabuzi, Good News, to her. And of course, she has no clue of what I'm saying. But that was my reaction to her. My reaction to her was, I like to listen to Shabuzi, Good News from Katie 101.3. And I don't get the newspaper and I don't follow the stuff. But I didn't say back to her, oh, the Pope is not evil. You should get Ishmael's book, and read The Secret Government. But I would have liked to say that to her, but it's just too much. So you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them, right? That's The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. So we've got the Page of Swords, which is incoming news. This is all about truth and trumpets, okay? The title is Red Roses Galore, and I wanted to comment one more comment on that because it's all about new love, new energy, new assignments, new everything. So if anything's coming into your life that's old, I would tell it probably to go away because we're doing all new. That's up to you. Like we've got some lemongrass incense here, and it sure smells good. Okay, so Soul Sister says, Ishmael and Michael D. are how I became acquainted with you, and I am grateful. So see, we're all together on the channels. We're all together in Astro. It's just how much do you want to connect? Do you want to go to Soul Sisters channel? Do you want to stay on my channel? Do you want to listen to what I say when I tell you to get regressions, check out my video, check out my playlist? Do you want to buy them books? Do you want to check Ishmael out? And Michael Della Rocca is who she's talking about with our Everyday Lives channel. Are you willing to do these things so that you can stay in the energy and stay connected to the soul family? Well, most of you that are on here, yeah. People that are new, that's up to you. How far do you want to go? Do you want to just surface level everything, or do you want to go deep? Okay, so underneath the Page of Swords, we have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is actually in reverse. So that's just telling me that a lot of you really aren't doing that, okay? The Queen of Swords is all about truth and not so much upside down. So probably everything I just said was very important. And if you have no clue of who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about, then that's just a sign that you're really not doing what you're doing. If I was to quiz you and say, where are the other regressions of other people on your channel? You have a video tab with just your regression. Where are the other ones? Would you know to say it's under the playlist tab? Okay, so you have to study my channel. Study it, not just turn me on once a day and say, oh, she said we're doing trumpets and truth, and she's got a lot of roses. Intuition, the high priestess. I'm drawn to the red roses behind her. They look like red roses to me behind her. And I'm drawn to the B for Rebecca Boubet. See, the B, the BJ. My name's Becky Jean. BJ, okay? I'm drawn to that. I'm also drawn to the B and the J because last night Soul Sister was with me, and John and Becky, it used to be, right? Used to be John and Becky. So the High Priestess, we had a really good time in Astro, and Soul Sister, she unveiled a lot in Astro. And she's probably not going to remember, but that's okay. We've got the Nine of Cups. We're going towards our wishes and desires. And on this card, I'm drawn to his red hat. So we've got red roses. Red signifies love. We've got red roses. This is a new chapter. I came in as the High Priestess. I took care of the assignment with John. Soul Sister really put a final closing on the chapter last night. I've already told you that the past has been sealed and done with, but Soul Sister just came in to finalize it. And I think that's why they don't want me to keep going with the books, because we're totally on a new chapter. And we're a lot more free as playing on the radio every time. They must listen and then put it on for us. So I'm drawn to his red hat. He is the man coming in for the high priestess. You notice how they're both sitting and they both have red. So with the red roses galore, I just feel a lot of love coming in. And the hangman twice. So when we get something twice, it's really, really important. We've got the hanged man twice. That's get a new prescription, a new perspective. Now, when I said prescription, that is going to mean something, because what they're telling me is some of you are still using pharmaceuticals, and we shouldn't be. We should be using organic. We should be using, I'm using antioxidants called folium. We shouldn't be using pharmaceuticals. So getting a new prescription wasn't something that I said by mistake. I learned my name on another timeline is Trinity, and when the twin ray union occurs, it will cause a surge and blackouts. Absolutely, Soul Sister. And I just, I'm going to confirm that, because yesterday in the book, chapter 5 of the Cosmic Origin, it talks about Trinity. So maybe if you have the book, you want to look it up. Okay, so we've got the hanged man twice. So you need to get a new perspective on everything. And that's going to be different for each of you. But when two hangmans come out, we've got the 12 card, which is a 3, which is Trinity. We also have an X22, which of course is 12. The hanged man. Peter's crucifixion. King of Pentacles has been coming up a lot, because the King of Pentacles is stable and he's a leader. And I'm drawn to the red around his neck. He has red around his neck. Okay, so we've got a lot of red. Then we have the Queen of Wands in reverse, which is good because she's putting down her ego. She's putting down her wanting just to be alone and forging forward. Here she is with her creativity. She's good all by herself. She's creative. I'm drawn to the red above her head, the black cat, right? Here it's in reverse. So she's ready to let it down, let her guard down a little bit so that the King of Pentacles can come in and give her an offer. And that's what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing back to the 9 of Cups. It's her wishes and her desires. So she needs to use her high priestess energy because the truth is coming in. And I'm drawn to his red boots. You know what red boots and high heels signify? The truth is coming out about the pedophiles. Okay, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up with, we've got the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. And they want me to get the book out and read a little bit about that. The 7 of Pentacles in reverse is your warning. Your warning is giving up too early, impatience, losing faith, not following through, frustrated with not getting your reward. What a perfect warning, huh? Don't give up before the miracle. That used to be a saying and that we said in AA. Don't give up before the miracle happens. That's your warning. Okay, you guys, I am Miss Mystic. Thank you for listening.